Okay, so for this project, we need a few things. So as you can see, I already went ahead and made the scarf. I made it out of two colors, just blue and white, just yarn that I already had laying around the house here. And as you can see, after I had put the squares all together, I just did an edging of a single stitch of crochet. And so you can certainly do that, or you can leave the edges, however they are, totally up to you. But this is the infinity scarf that I went ahead and did. I only did 10 squares, whereas in the instructions it tells you to do 20 if you want to go ahead and double up on that. But I just wanted to go ahead and do the 10 squares. So here's a few more things that we're going to be needing for our project. As you can see right here in the middle, I have a 4-inch pin loom. Now this is something that I made at home, so please don't make fun of me. It's not the prettiest, but darn it, it really works. So I actually made all those squares on the scarf that I made from this loom. I just took some pieces of wood that I found around the house and some nails. I will include the template for the pin loom that's in the book along with the video. So I just used some wood glue and some brad nails to put the pieces of wood together, and then I drilled the holes for the nails prior to. As you can see some wood glue right in here. This piece right here started to split a little bit, so I had to use a little extra reinforcement with that wood glue. But I didn't feel like spending $40 to pay for a loom online, so I just went ahead and made my own. So I would highly suggest that if you could. Just need a pair of scissors, and I used the yarn needle for the weaving part on the loom. I found that this one in particular that I had is plastic and it's too flexible, so you can use one if you choose to, but I chose to use the crochet hook here, and this is a size G. You can use whatever size you like, but that's the size that I had used. And I also used another crochet hook, and this one is size, looks like C, and this I used for weaving the extra pieces of yarn. So like at the very ends like this, just wove it right into the stitches themselves. So these are the yarn pieces that I had used for the scarf. You can use whatever's laying around. I know that there's some craft stores that are doing, you can order online and then they can carry them out to your car. At this point, we're not able to go into those types of stores. You may find some yarn like at Meijer or some other store, but these, again, were just yarn that I had used from previous projects. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to start with my blue here. As soon as I can get it untangled. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take the yarn and we're going to loosely tie it to the one end here. Just like so. Okay, make sure it's loose enough to where it can still come over the head of the nail. So this is called layer 1 of the weaving. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our yarn here and we're going to wrap it around these two nails right here. I think you can see there. We're going to skip this one right here. And we're going to go ahead and wrap around these two. And we're going to go ahead and skip this one right here. And then wrap around two, skip one, wrap around two, and we'll skip this one, wrap around two, skip one, wrap around two, and then we'll go ahead and skip that one. And then you get to the end here, so you go ahead and wrap around this last or excuse me, the first nail of this row. I'm going to go ahead and shift my loom to a more comfortable position here. And then we're going to do the same thing as we did. So you wrap around the first two, skip one. Wrap around two, skip one. Wrap around two, skip one. Oh, sorry there. A little tight right there. It's like flossing teeth, trying to get in between. Alright, so then we got our two, and then we're going to go ahead and skip this one. Wrap around two, then skip this one. Wrap around these two, skip one. Okay, and then see, you're making your line. So that was layer 2. Now, layer 3, we're going to go ahead and shift the loom again. We're going to go ahead and wrap around this nail right here, okay? And we're going to go ahead and wrap around two. And this time we're not going to skip one. We're going to go ahead, we're going to go ahead and wrap around because this nail right here doesn't have any. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap around this nail because this one doesn't have one. And then again, excuse me, this nail. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap around this nail. I'm going to get a little bit more yarn out here. Wrap around these two here. Okay, so then we got that. Alright, so there is our third layer. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to actually start the weaving part. And in order to do that, we need to make sure that we have enough yarn. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get out a little bit more yarn here. And then, so this is going to be our starting and ending point. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I'll go this way, loosely wrap the yarn. So that's one. We're going to do it a total of 5 times. So loosely, so here's 2. And 3. 4 and 5. So we're going to go ahead and cut the yarn. I like to leave a little bit of a tail. You're going to be stretching the yarn as you're weaving, but I always like to make sure that I have just a little bit of extra, so maybe like a 6-inch tail. And then you're done with your ball of yarn for right now. So we'll go ahead and unwrap that. And then we'll start the weaving. So we'll go ahead and we're going to wrap around this nail right here. So at this point, if you want to use the yarn needle, you would go ahead and thread the yarn through the needle there, okay? And then we would be using the needle. I personally like the crochet hook. I find it a lot easier, a lot sturdier to use, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the crochet hook. Again, we're going to turn the loom. I always like it facing me. You do whatever is comfortable for you. So we're going to go ahead and I like to lift these up a little bit so they're not flat against the loom, so it's easier to get underneath them. There we go. Okay, so see this piece right here? It is, it's not woven in at all. So what I like to do is I'm going to go ahead and weave. So again, it's under, over, 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 and under. So, pull that through. And what I like to try to do, if you can, sometimes it's a little tricky, so see how I work that right through those. Right through there. And then you just go ahead and pull the rest of your piece. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to go ahead and wrap it around this nail. So from now on, we're going to be wrapping it around basically each of the nails. And so I take a look at the previous line. So we did under, over, under. So this one, we're going to go over, under. If my needle's going to cooperate here. So over, over, excuse me. Yeah, under, over, under. So see, it's similar to this line here, but that's okay. So go ahead and do that. So I got under, over, over. And if you need to talk to yourself, that's okay. My kids and my husband are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I gotta concentrate. Oh, you know what? I did that backwards. I forgot to turn the loom there. Here we go. So again, under, over, yep, under, over, under, over, under. And just kind of follow the pattern for that one there. There we go. Sorry about that. So now you can go ahead and pull your yarn right across there. Okay, there we go. Alright, so then keep wrapping it around each nail.